All right, here we go. It's a quick pop. Wow. Hey, how's everyone doing? Thank you guys for being here tonight. Very special night. Very special night. I'm pretty sure everyone knows. Well, let's timestamp this really quick. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 86 of the Hangout. My name is Paige, where I give you positive insight. Yeah, see, into the world of collecting a very chill and relaxed atmosphere. Tonight is a very special night. She has been on here before, and I wanted to do something special, so I actually got my death dealer, some Mezco Toys 112 Collective Death Dealer. I actually got that a couple of days ago, and I've just been kind of waiting to be able to open it because I wanted to share this with somebody special, and that someone special is, drumroll, please make sure you show her some love when she gets into the room. Oh, it's Death Dealer.
I am Death Dealer. Was that low enough?
It sounds really good.
So, well, I don't want to do like the Darth Vader voice because it's too close.
Yeah.
So what would Death Dealer's voice be, Paige?
I don't know, man. I think of it like a. I don't want to typecast it and say Vin Diesel, but it's like that kind of like.
Let me get this off my head because it's super dusty.
There she is.
Hi. Hello. We can bring back Death Dealer later if we want to. We can ask him some questions.
Yeah. The mask is beautiful. Do you mind showing it again? It looks really great.
Yeah, this is a sculpt by Stephen K. Smith, and this was for in hopes of making a Death Dealer costume. So this was the original sculpt.
Wow.
Really beautiful. It does not have a horn on top of its head because my dog decided, a spike rather, because my dog unfortunately ate it off, and we have to have Steve get us a new one. So it's very upsetting.
That thing looks badass. How are you doing, friend? How are you doing?
I am doing well. Can't complain. Miracle that we're human beings. Got to have gratitude for that. How are you?
I'm doing well. I had a little bit of a shitty day today, but this actually helps me out a lot. So thank you very much for being on. I'm glad you were here. Very glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. I can't wait to get into that Death Dealer. I'm so excited to see him.
Yeah, I didn't even open it. I had it in the.
You waited for me. You're such a gentleman. Thank you.
I did. Yes, of course. I immediately thought, I was like, man, I want to do this, and then so when you said that you were going to come on, what happened? Uh-oh.
I see live on my end.
That's so weird. I don't know what's going on.
What happened on your end?
I can see, but I can't. I can hear you, but I can't see anything. So I apologize about this, guys. Not sure what is going on. That is so weird. But you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Let's try this real quick. Let's remove and remove.
Corey Burns says it's good. I think it's something just switched on StreamYard. I'm thinking there's some problems with StreamYard, Paige. I have quite a few.
Yeah. So everyone, I apologize about this. Give me just a second. Let me see if I can. Oh, you can see me through the other.
They can see and hear. So while we're waiting, I'm gonna put on Death Dealer again.
Thank you for covering for me, because I am not too sure. There we go. Now we might be able to get here. I think what happened was I clicked my my airplane mode. So quick catch up. How are you doing? Everything good?
Paige, it's growing pains. Like we said, it's the process. I was listening to this show the other day, and it's like got all these sponsors, and it's a big show, and they are, I think, in episode like 400, and they were talking about it internally, and they're like, God, we can't even listen to our first 50 shows. They're horrible. We didn't know how to use our equipment. So I think it's like a beautiful thing to actually like organically go through it, because if you just like have producers and, if you miraculously have a ton of money to throw into a show, it's almost like, wow, you just like bought it. We should have to like struggle through it. I feel like it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
It's like with anything.
Yeah, it is, and but it's a good part of the process, like that just now. You just
Yeah.
kind of figure stuff out, and then
Yeah.
I like seeing like development because I remember
Yeah.
when I first talked to you, I remember you were just starting out and stuff, and I remember watching your Halloween special. That was a good one. Thank you. It was a really good one.
I'm
It was a lot of
bald.
fun, man. Yeah, I love how you get your family on. I love it because it's like
Yeah.
yeah, you get this long like span of history, and you get different perspectives. That's what I love about it the most. So like
Yeah.
uh, but
Definitely. They're gonna have other
yours.
stories.
Oh, really? More ghost stories or
Well,
more?
no, 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 no. I mean, we
Yeah,
honestly, you know what? You just like turn the camera on and then you like start blanking a little bit. Like we're like, all right, we're gonna tell this one, and then
yeah,
I would rather just like flow though and not try to stay on like, well, we said we were gonna talk about this. Then it seems I don't know. Then it starts getting sticky. But no, but
yeah,
stories, just different perspectives of even my grandpa, like how they grew up with him when he was in a different stage of his life, and I was the first grandchild. So you could even talk to one of my cousins who experienced him at a different stage, and then they'll have different stories and perspectives. So that's what I like about bringing everyone on. I love bringing my aunt Heidi on too. She's a good guest. She's fun.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
like her a lot too.
yeah.
No, I was gonna ask you something. Oh, there was a question I'll save for later because it kind of goes along with that, but I think it's best for later.
Okay.
But I wanted to say to you very much. Let's see here. I had this part written down because I wanted to make sure I got it right. So first off, I want to thank you very much for coming, and I know you're a very, very busy woman. I know you're running Frazetta Girls. You're constantly updating IG and Facebook. I keep telling you, take a break. You're doing too much. And you're
I did
trying to help
yoga the
us.
other day. I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to roll my like just keep my body going. Otherwise, what am I going to do? You know, it starts like binding. That when I know I've gone too far with work, when I just am like this like tight, like I can't touch my toes. That's a good like gauge for me. I'm like, you know, go
Yeah,
stretch, go take care of
yeah,
yourself for a little bit.
yeah. And it's good that you do because, man, I see, like I said, I see it all the time. It's like you're constantly posting stuff. We've talked about this before, but you're constantly posting stuff on Facebook. You're constantly focused on Instagram. And what I love about it is there's that insight. It's not just, hey, here's my grandfather's art. There's like actual insight into the process, to the method, how it was painted. There's just different little stories to it. So it makes it a lot more unique. And so that's how I'm say I understand how much work you're actually putting into it. It's not just something like, hey, here you go. So
It is. It's fun doing it. Like when I woke up, and I don't know if you saw this post on Facebook because there are quite a few, but I posted the reference photos. Did you see that
yes.
with Joan as the reference from Pinup '60s girl?
Hmm.
And I was just so excited to learn something new, because just when you think like, oh, I've discovered everything about my grandpa, like how am I going to recycle this material? But then you find new content from someone who's been passed away for now for 12 years. I'm like, oh my god, how? Thanks to the internet, you know, that people can piece things together quicker. So it was just like, it was another cool like inside glimpse into his process. So I think it's just, I'm feeling as much enthusiasm about, maybe like you're feeling my enthusiasm, like I like doing it, so that's why I do it. I feel it's like you said earlier, like doing these talks, that's my happy place too. And I think like work and doing Frazetta Girls, like as my business, as my life, it's just what I like to do. I'd prefer to do that rather than like go on vacation and just sit and watch the sunset or whatever I might be doing. I like working. It's fun.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's worked with you because, like I said, it just
No.
seems like you put it out, and it does seem it doesn't seem it is very genuine. Like I said, I can watch and look at these posts and stuff like that, and I get a better sense of it. And for me, like we talked about before, I'm new to all this, and so to have somebody make it more personal, it's even better. So I wanted to
Hey,
make sure I told you thank you for that.
thank you, Paige. Can I ask you something? How are you getting this is so I'm like, how are you pulling up the comments?
Oh, so on the side here, this is the
Uh-huh.
you've used StreamYard. Have you used it
Yeah,
before?
that's what I use, but I don't know how to use this cool feature. I'm like, how is he doing this?
Yeah, so there's you should have seen me before. I struggle really bad with this, but I've kind of balanced it a little bit. But there's a little comments tab on the side, and
Uh-huh.
usually what I do is I just kind of get in there and look at for some comments and stuff like that. You can star them, you can do all sorts of different stuff, but you have a lot of people that are happy that you're here. So you just click on it and it'll show it.
Wow.
Hmm.
Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly. I was like this too. I had this I was gonna show too when you were just talking, but it's just a quick.
Oh, that's cool. I love it.
Yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
now I know. Thank you. Thank you, Paige. I
I'll
owe
show
you.
you. I'll show you afterwards. So this is the leadoff question. So there's a two part to this. So the first question that I'm going to ask you is from our previous guest, and his name was Dwayne Shoots Toys. Very talented guy. He does a lot of pictures. He makes his own props, and he just takes these pictures. But I asked him a question that I would have for my next guest, and so I'll ask you that question. And during the show, if you can think of a question that you want to ask the next guest, but I got it off of YouTube. It was somebody that does it, but it was a cool concept. But the thing is, you don't know who the next guest is. Like he didn't know it was you. So
Okay.
the question that I'm going to ask you, I guess we can kind of modify it. But the question is what was your first action figure as a child? But you so what was your favorite figure when you were a child? How about we ask that?
Uh, do dolls count?
Yes, it's the same thing.
Okay. I don't. It wasn't. Definitely wasn't my first. Oh no, God, what was this? Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. My mom, my grandma, like my whole family, big collectors. So I was given many little collectible dolls that I can't think of the name now. But my first like doll, like mine that I got to choose was Barbie. I mean, I was a Barbie queen. I had like 90 Barbies. Like I'm telling you, like they were. I had a basement in my house in Pennsylvania, and the whole basement was basically my Barbie world that I'd go down, and I had probably I was spoiled obviously. I'm like I had 90 Barbies, but I had like everything for them. You know, their cars, their houses. Like it was. I would go down there. I'm sure you were the same way since you still love toys. But I would go down there
Yeah.
and I'd spend like 6 hours down there playing Barbies. And I'm like, wow, to be a kid and to be able to get into that just imagination realm and have
Mhm.
this entire world going. If I could do anything, I think I'd go back into that mind, be able to go back to that mindset for a day and be able to like play Barbies again. Honestly, that'd be a dream day.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to do it sometimes now, but you get weird looks.
Little judgment.
Yeah, I stopped by Target today and I was looking. So there's a boat that I've been looking for, and it's a
Mm.
Barbie boat. And there's nothing weirder than a guy like me walking down the Barbie aisle. There's kids down there, and I was like, "Where's that boat?" And I'm looking, and this lady's just like, "What are you doing in the aisle?" And what are you? And so I was like, "I'm looking for my
Wait,
daughter. I don't have a daughter, but I was like,
what are you doing with the Barbie boat?
So it's just mainly for figures. They don't make vehicles and stuff like that. And so I was like, I'm gonna buy this Barbie boat. I'll repaint it so it
Mm-hmm.
can go with the characters because they don't have
Mm.
vehicles. And so, but you can't really tell anybody that. They're just like, why are you in the aisle looking for a Barbie boat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
we gotta stop the age discrimination. If we want to be buying Barbie boats, we can be buying Barbie boats.
exactly. I was like, I can afford it. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Really quick. So I wanted to, I guess the top comments for tonight, that's just a little topic conversations and stuff that I have for tonight. I'd like to do the unboxing with you, but I won't sit here and play with this all in front of you, but I wanted to take a quick look at it because there's a connection with you and the comics and stuff like that. So you're the first person I thought of. I
Oh, I'm
wanted to
happy.
talk about Death Dealer and the run that you're doing with this. The last issue. Nice cliffhanger. I'll leave it at that. No spoilers.
Yep.
Um, I also wanted to talk about Dawn Attacks, possibly some Fire and Ice with you. And then if you would be able to talk about it, maybe the future of Frazetta Girls and the Frazetta-Verse. How about that?
Definitely. Yes
Yes.
to
All right.
all.
Oh, yes. Excellent. So, this is cool. I have the Mezco 112 Death Dealer. I have not opened it, like I said, because I wanted to open it with you. But this is really cool. Um, and so it's not weird or anything while I'm opening this, and maybe we can have a quick talk again, and I can kind of go by with for people that maybe are first tuning in how we first met. I met Sarah at MegaCon.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
We had a really deep conversation right away, and I'm like, that's you my one of my favorite people now.
No,
Like you
thank you.
don't not this doing we're not doing the surface talk. I love it. And then I signed Conan. That was fun.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So wow, that looks
Oh,
beautiful. I love Mezco's presentations. Like I really do.
yeah. Yeah, they so like I said, you can tell I didn't open this before because I had to cut the little stickers and everything. I won't stay on it too long. Box looks great.
Beautiful.
Yes. I love the
Beautiful.
box. They have posters that came with it too, but nothing beats what you sent me. Thank you so much for that again. Oh my
Of
God.
course.
Those things are beautiful.
You know, you mentioned it when we were talking. I don't know if you remembered that. You said something about the Giclées, like specifically, and I was like, now I know what to send him. I was so happy.
Oh yeah,
What's
I won't
what's supposed to be in there?
I don't know.
Is that just a buffer box?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of get a little bit added padding and stuff. Yeah, wow. So, Trey, I'm pretty sure everybody there. This has been going around groups and stuff like that in the Mezco group right now, and everybody seems to be pretty excited about it.
Have you
Uh,
seen? I think it's Boba. Boba's here in the chat, and
yeah,
Charlie. I believe his name is Charlie. But
yeah.
Boba, did you see his pictures with Conan and Death Dealer?
Oh yeah. I talk to Boba every day, man. And
Okay.
yeah, he's a great guy. He's a very talented builder, and he is a hardcore fan. We talk about you quite a bit.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
adore
and
you both.
yeah, and we always, holy crap, wow, wow.
I love that he's blue. You
Yeah, so
know.
here's a question for you because this has
Mhm.
been going around the groups a lot, and this is a good topic. So there
Mhm.
were a couple of people that when they first saw this, and then now when he comes out, they're like, he's not supposed to be blue, and it's not like off of Frazetta's original artwork. There's certain, different skin tones. Can you kind of clear that up, or is it this version
I
supposed to be a specific version, or
you know I have to look at the. Hold on one second before I answer that.
wow,
Um.
the
He's
detail?
gorgeous. So it is not based off his painting. That they are correct.
Okay,
And I can't. You have it before I have my sample. You have the Fig Biz. Is that one also blue? I remember
yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Can you give me a second? That one I'm very proud of because I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. I don't have the regular
I'm still
version.
waiting on mine.
Oops. Better get on it. Not
I
you,
know.
them.
No, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
when you talked about that,
See,
the
he's
the
blue, and these are different companies. So I'm. This is a really good question that the community brought up, and
hmm
yeah, I don't. He's maybe he was blue. I think he was blue in the Glenn Danzig comics. I think
okay.
in some of the colors he was blue. Maybe that's where it came about. Also, there is like in his skin tone. Oh wow, so sick. So in his skin tone in like Death Dealer 2, you can see like hues of blue and green. So maybe it's just they're taking that like I don't know, a reference from that painting in particular, and
hmm
then they can't do the exact matching because that would be really difficult
hmm
to match Frazetta's skin tones. It's just like all it's like lavender, blues, greens. So yeah, I mean, I like him blue. I don't think he would be blue though if we did like an animation series, or I don't. I think
Yeah.
he'd be the flesh tone I was just talking about, the different hues, kind of more human like.
Wow.
What's that chain link like?
It's kind of goes down to about his ankles. It's a mesh chain, and then they do really well with the fabrics. And this
Yeah.
one, I know originally this one was it was supposed to come out a little bit earlier, and it's been in production for quite a while, but the original solicitation they showed, he didn't have these double jointed elbows, and I thought that that was uh, they didn't mention anything. They didn't give any updates with it. But the thing was, is that this was a nice surprise for me because, I mean, you obviously know axe wielding over the head, and you don't
Right.
really get that range.
See, hold
Yeah,
on. There he is right there. Page behind me. See that? That's from the
yeah.
Shiflet. That's the Shiflet brothers sculpt back there.
Oh wow, nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah, are you hiding it intentionally, or is it like
Oh,
a okay?
I have another thing I'm really hiding, but hold on. See that? Oh, it's different color. Might have a bronze behind me. It's very nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. They put a lot of detail into this stuff.
Where's
Wow.
that head, Page? There was the head. I want to see that little the severed
They have.
head.
Oh yeah. There's a couple actually, and these have a lot of great detail on them.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. See, I don't think they based that one off of anything specific from Frazetta. I can't recall that face. Maybe they was inspired by a subhuman or something.
Yeah, there's another one in here too. I guess you can put it on the ground. I actually ordered a couple of these, so I'll have a couple of little heads on the ground. So
Oh,
this one,
cool. I
like,
love that. That's so great.
yeah, they do.
The little,
And they have blood splatter, of course.
of
You got
course.
necklace, you got armor. This is really cool. I can't wait to dig in this. Like even, I love how they.
Wow, so that's an extra accessory belt. Is he not wearing a belt or is it changeable?
It's yeah. He has one on, and of course I'll need like
Oh,
two hands, but I'm pretty sure you can take
yeah.
off. Or I can ask Bo, but he'll run through this stuff and he'll probably let me know a little bit more about it. I love all the options that they gave in. Just the fact that they have so much trying to get to focus. So I don't know if it will. But it's so
Oh
small.
yeah, that's so cool. Is that shoulder pads?
Yeah, so they give you
Okay.
multiple looks, and I'm still catching up with the lore of the character and everything too. Like, I do not know. I know we showed that head already, but
Yeah. Now let me ask you something, Paige. Do you have Super 7 action figures?
I do not. I've seen a bunch of stuff that they've been putting out today. Like they have some, but I don't have any of the characters from that line. No.
Do you have a I should ask, do you have a preferred action figure maker?
Yeah, it would be Mezco. Yeah, Mezco.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I like them a lot. But I do collect other lines. But this is the one that this one I think they just do a really good job with nostalgia. I'm a little bit older, but so to be able to have some of these characters that I grew up with is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I like these pins. They give you some pins too.
So cool. I love
Yeah,
them. They're the like retro style too. I like that. It's a good
yeah,
fit.
yeah. And he has these batteries, and the this is really on par with the Conan figure that they do.
Oh, with the base and the stand and all of that
Yeah, all the
goodness.
swords, and there's
Oh
so much
yeah.
like you're not gonna be able to see the detail.
Yeah, that's the Death
Yeah,
Dealer sword. That's great. Spot on.
I know some people are probably like, dude, I've already seen all this crap, but
You're doing it for me.
yeah.
So
Do you you got one, or are you getting one, or
mine's on the way.
nice.
And my fig I think my fig business are gonna come in like probably April, maybe sooner, hopefully sooner.
Hmm.
I'm like you got the blood splatter one. I don't think I'm gonna get one of those because that was just sold through Entertainment Earth. So I missed out.
Well, I think when I checked last time, I think they put it back up. There might be a
Did
few left.
they?
I think so.
I mean, I can also do a third party and just say, you know what, you missed out, so you're gonna pay the premium price, and that's okay.
Yeah, but
Or
the
maybe
thing
maybe
is
the guy maybe Incendium's gonna give me one, and I don't know what I'm talking about right now. So hope, I'll talk to
like
Lexi. We'll see.
like as a Christmas gift.
Well, just as a business obligation.
But like, I need to check that out. There's a quality control, so
Yeah.
I gotta send that to them. I I am happy with this, but I got you on, and I'll enjoy this a little bit later. I know that I've seen the poster, but I don't want to take that out yet because I want to talk to you. That's what I'm getting
I'm just
focused
thank
about.
you for doing that. I'm so happy I finally got to see it. I mean, I've seen it, but like someone really showing it to me like that, which is nice.
I'm looking up something because if it's there, I'm gonna buy it
Send it to
and
me.
I'm gonna send
No,
it to you. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
no,
Yeah. It's,
no,
it's happening.
baby.
It's happening.
Okay, well, I'm gonna reciprocate. Is
Uh,
it there?
there's the regular one, but it says it's gonna be restocking soon. That's the regular one. I'll check out the other
The
one, but
the regular one is coming back in I don't know when, but probably spring of next year. I do know that. I do know one thing, Paige, and that's what I know.
so I'll do a quick little chat break because we had a bunch of people. They were let's see questions. Let's see. This one's another death dealer. This one I need another death dealer. So Bobo wants another one.
Bob, yeah, he's gonna do a custom,
Yeah, he
like
did
painted.
a. He did. He had a Conan, and he did this. He he customized it where, and I'm not sure what the timeline or the terminology was for, but he put the black stripes on him. I thought it
Oh
was
yeah,
really good.
okay. Okay. That's of course Boba.
Yeah.
Very talented. Oh, hi
Yes.
Paul. Sara Frazetta in the house. And I just Cantonese comic kid. Hi Jeff. Jeff's a friend. Dork Lair. Hello. Hello.
See here.
This is so much better bringing the comments up. I just have to say, instead of trying to read them, I mean that must be entertaining for you to watch me reading
I
comments.
remember doing it on Instagram. So I was like, when I see you doing it, I'm like, and it's not easy to like balance
No.
it. There's guys that have these teams and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
so,
producers. They have a
yeah,
team of producers. I don't know if that will ever happen in my lifetime. Maybe
I'm
it'd be
sure it
cool.
will.
It'd be cool to have a
I'm
team of
sure it will.
producers. But
So,
fix the mic. You could yell at everyone.
hmm I saw that last one. I was like, she's got this. She's got this. When he had the mic, I was like, she's got it.
Did you see how angry it made me? I was so
Yeah.
I'm like the first 8 minutes are gone. It's all of my business announcements this week. Like
I know.
whatever.
I still caught it. I was still able to catch it. So,
Well,
the
I
simple.
sounded like a robot. It was like wah, 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 wah. It was like remember the Charlie Brown adult wah, 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 wah. That was
Yeah.
what it was doing.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Nate, this is a good one. I guess Mezco, they
Wait.
announced a little while back they had the Mezco King Conan, and I can't wait for that to go out. Oh gosh, that looks really good. Whoop, that's something heavy you got.
I just wanted to bring this up. Conan the
Oh
Cimmerian.
yeah,
You have this
yeah.
page. You
Yes,
have
I
this.
do.
It's
Yeah, I got.
really big, and I just hurt my shoulder, so we're gonna put that back down.
Have you
So.
haven't opened it yet? Or is it?
No, I haven't. It's just been sitting there collecting dust. I feel bad. I'm like, this needs to come out. Maybe we'll have to do another one and we can unbox them together and
Yeah,
have
because
them.
I haven't opened mine either because a friend of mine it's hard to find. And I was like,
Mm.
he was like, "Oh man, I know you like Mezco, I know you like Conan. So do you want this?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And he sent it to me, and I was like, "Thank God," because you can't find it anywhere now. Or you can, but it's gonna be for like way after market pricing. So I was like,
I think I saw one. It was like 600, which was crazy.
"No, I'm not. I like the stuff, but not that much." It's like it.
Who can
So
afford that? We're in a recession. Like this is ridiculous.
you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. So
That's
I got a
true.
quick. Can I do a quick Death Dealer flex? Is this okay?
Death dealer flex away.
Yeah, because so. Mm,
Clayton Crane,
mm,
the Death Dealer unbranded,
mm.
beautiful. Death Dealer 2. I'm gonna name them all. Death Dealer 2 unbranded.
hmm I'm looking for my special one. Oh, there it is.
Gabrielle Del Auto. Oh my god. There it is. There's when we met, guys. Time
Yes.
stamped into the universe.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Well,
Brenner. I can never say his name. Brennerton, Dan Brennerton. Sorry, terrible pronunciation. Marco Torrini. I believe that was his cover. Variant, beautiful. Oh God, now the trivia is getting hard. Megan, I know she's Megan with a wraparound cover. Show the wraparound cover real quick, Paige,
oh,
on the
yes.
back. Oh
The
yeah.
Sea Witch. Sea Witch.
Oh yeah, there she is. I love that. I love that cover. That one's really different. It's unique. Yeah, so
Oh,
that was issue 5.
I do have something on the back of one of these. Oh, I kept that. Oh.
Aw, you did.
I
I'm
did.
so inconsistent with my postcards. I'm gonna like do postcards with my holiday sales,
Yeah.
and I got to like I'm writing each one out, and I got to like 15, and I'm like, all right, so 15 people are gonna get this postcard because you know how when you don't use your hand to write for a long time, it's
Yeah.
very, or maybe I just have really bad arthritis, but it's like after a little bit, it's taxing. I'm just used to
Yeah.
typing, you know, it's different wrist work. It's strange. It's weird that
Yeah.
we came up that way with like writing all day in school, and now we don't have to do that anymore. It's very odd.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh wow. That's really nice because nobody does that stuff anymore.
No,
My
and
girl,
I think because we can't. I think it hurts.
yeah.
Everyone starts writing, and they're like, "Oh God, my wrist is on fire."
Yeah, my girlfriend, it was my birthday a couple of days ago, and she's always
Happy
good about
belated.
oh, thank you. She's really good about writing out stuff in cards and stuff like it. It was like she always does really well, but I that's one of the things I like. I was like, wow, look at she writes stuff out because people don't really do that anymore. And it's this
It's true.
so this mm, special meeting. Thank you. Uh,
J.G. Jones. Oh, love that one. I love
mm,
that one. You know, Paige, that little monster in the corner. Did you notice that? Bring that back real quick. It's
mm,
on the.
here?
Where is he? Oh yeah, he's right behind the sorcerer. Look at it. I love him. I
Oh,
don't know. Look at
oh,
his
this guy.
face. Yeah,
This
look at
little
his
guy.
face. It's so weird. It's
He's
the
like a little
first thing
vegetable.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. I just really liked him. We need to do more with whatever that is.
This one. Read
God.
it. Very good.
So what did you think?
I
Issue
I
7.
liked it. I really like it. I don't want to do spoilers because like some people haven't read it yet. I really
Yeah.
liked it. I liked the cliffhanger at the end. It was very good, and I always love the artwork in the whole series. It's really good. And I wanted to also tell you thank you very much for putting the alternate covers in the end because
I
I
love that. Yeah,
yeah
that's it's a collector's feature again. Like you're a
yeah
collector, so to have that, I
yeah
think it's really important. But now, so that issue now, I don't know if you noticed, but that's actually the artwork changed. It's now the Escorza brothers, and they were the ones who were working on the last Ronin
hmm
with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So before we had Stefano Martino, and then of course we had the 2 one-shots. We had Death Dealer 5 and 6, and those were
hmm
Diego Yapor, and 5 is fleeting my brain right now. But
hmm
yeah, this is so new artist. Mitch Iverson is back now. Mitch was the one who wrote issues 1 through 4, so
hmm
he's back now, and I think he'll be doing like the next like 6 issues, and then we'll have a couple one shots here and there just to make it to switch up, and that's what like the plan is basically, expanding this Frazetta-Verse and bringing in new perspectives, new characters, and I think just by having different writers, different angles on it, it kind of brings everyone in. We want our audience to be like everyone ideally. So
right
you have to have a bit of everything for everyone. So
yeah.
that's our angle.
And so, do you stick with a certain artist for a certain amount of comics, or do you I don't know how to say it. Like, you want certain
Yeah.
ones for certain, or is it like a trial by issue, or how does
So
that work?
Stefano had a how should I say this? Well, he had a baby, just to put it,
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
I think after that, I think he just his schedule was too busy. So I think I've seen, just by being in comics for the little bit of time that I have been, it's usually a scheduling conflict, and I think because these artists, most of them are just so overwhelmed,
Yeah.
Quite honestly, because I don't think the the pay for the arts is not great, and they have to overextend themselves and take this job, that job, if they're not working for a big company like even like DC and Marvel. Like I don't imagine the pay is like excellent either. They're still having to do freelance jobs, and it is what it is. So I think it's just it comes down to the top talent. They're busy, and then you have to switch them out, and so yeah, it's usually not where you hope you can have an artist for the long haul, but then things come up, and you have to figure out whose style complements the artist that was already working with you. So the editors have a lot of fires to put out on a daily basis. My heart goes out to them. I'm like, that's a lot of stress.
Yeah, especially if you're like trying to like keep with the storyline and keep it consistent. I personally, I'm used to it. When I used to read comics, there would be that when you're a kid, you're like, oh crap, who's this guy? But it gives you a
Right.
chance to like see different, I guess, visions of what the artist would interpret the character as, and so I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the art in all of them have been good. And there's not really too much of a major shift. I did like that shift that you had when I think that was around the time when he did have his baby, but there was a shift to another artist, but it played into the story, because it was like a
The flashbacks in issue 4.
yeah.
Yes, that was Axel Medallion and Leonardo Manco. Leonardo is, and Axel's great, but I just have to say Leonardo Manco is a beast. Like he's actually has a variant, a cover coming out for Death Dealer, I believe, in issue number 9, and
Hmm.
his style, like I mean, another artist I'll gush over, Diego Yapor, like personally, when he did issue number 6 and the source, I thought the sorceress was, I thought the sorceress was like at that level with like my grandpa's girls. I was like, okay, this is
Oh
like what my
wow.
like I thought she's not, Diego's not Frazetta, and but it's like
Yeah.
his style complemented his style is so incredible, and it complemented Frazetta's so incredibly. But
Hmm.
he like that's what, and then all artists have done that so well, where they keep their unique individuality. They're not trying to emulate Frazetta exactly. Like, and no one, we wouldn't want that. Yeah, that one's, is that issue number?
It's
I don't believe,
six.
is that
It's cover
6?
A. It's six, but it's cover A.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, if you open that, like the sorceress, her body, I mean, it's definitely the best sorceress in any issue, in my opinion, my humble
Well,
opinion.
there's
There's her face. Yeah,
yeah. I'll get
it's
it, Bobby.
beautiful. You gotta get the back shot of her
Oh
hair.
yeah. I was hoping when I did like the little Instagram story today. I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
put a girl at the bottom, and somebody messaged me like, "Dude, don't do that. That's like tacky." I was like, "No, it's she's dressed, but she's kind of like a Frazetta girl. She'll get it. She'll understand the reference."
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, there. Oh, she's just really beautiful. So yeah,
Oh,
Diego. Yeah, here we
backside.
go. There, yeah, there we go. The backside. Yeah, like he
Mhm.
did a great job. I just felt like his style was it's so perfectly fitted. And speaking of Diego, he is on the Dawn Attack issue and the series. He is
Yeah,
the artist. God willing, hopefully his schedule does not become overwhelmed. We're gonna find wood and we're gonna knock on it. Here we
yeah,
go, knocking on wood, because we
yeah,
can't lose Diego.
yeah. You and I
Like I'm
are
like
on the
stressed out.
same page because I wanted to talk to you about that.
Dawn Attack. So it was supposed to be out on the 30th of this month, but
Yeah.
it's looking like it's going to be probably December. What's the next? Let's see. It's December, I believe 6th. I think it will be December 6th if that's a Wednesday. No,
Hmm.
7th. It'll probably be December 7th. But I saw the final inks and colors last night of issue 1,
Hmm.
and it was perfect. Well, I mean, I loved it. I think the art again is just, it's just worth getting for the art alone. That's how beautiful it is. Like each panel, Diego just brings you into the world, like because of his attention to detail with everything. It's so good. And I think like Diego's style for me, I don't know, like you're speaking of like nostalgia, I get like a little bit of like nostalgia, just of the feeling of nostalgia looking at his artwork. It's like how to break it down in the simplest ways. Like it makes me feel like cozy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good. It's like it just transports you into that escapism and different world. So the art's beautiful. It's a really it's a good story. It's different. It's not like Death Dealer. It's very just kind of for more for all audiences. It's not rated R like Death Dealer. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Death Dealer, I tell you, speaking of rated R, it heats up a lot in issue 8, where I'm like, is this okay? And I'm like, it's Frazetta. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
sorry. So sorry, Grandma, because that's the person that would be really angry at the
Uh-huh.
decision to let that happen. My grandpa was obviously very into sexuality. Clearly, you could see it in
Yeah.
almost every painting. But my grandma was very religious, and I think she wanted Frazetta's art to have like a different meaning behind it, and she would try to wrap it up that way and sell it, and it just it didn't really make sense. So we're making it make sense. Yeah, Jody Hauser. Jody Hauser. Thank you for bringing that up. Forbes. That's a good article. Forbes wrote it, and just kind of
Yeah.
getting into Jody Hauser's mind. And I mean, she's a great writer. It's very, like I said, very different than Mitch Iverson's Death Dealer, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
we want to do. We want to have a little bit of something for everyone. So I hope you guys. I hope everyone does like Dawn Attack. I love getting the feedback.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I pre-ordered this, and I also pre-ordered. I wanted to make sure I got this right with you. Now, I know the cover gallery is the last day to order that, correct?
Yeah, that will
But
be for retailers, but for like everyone else, you'll be able to go into stores, and it'll be in comic shops, and then on online retailers as well.
okay, yeah, because I wanted to make sure I got that. I didn't know if it was issue 8 or if it was the cover gallery, because I made sure I ordered the cover gallery because I was like, man, I think it was like it's like 40 pages and it's only like
Mm-hmm.
4.99, but it has like
Yeah.
artists like it was like was it like David Finch, Gabriel Delato, who else?
Dan
Frank Cho?
Panosian. Yep. Frank Cho. Bill
Yeah.
Sienkiewicz. I
Yep.
mean, we got it. We got almost. I think it's up to issue 7, I believe, or
Y-
6. It's either issue 1 through 6 or 1 through 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So everything that's out now will be okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
And then we'll do obviously for future issues for the new artists, and I'm excited for the trade back, the hardcover of, or is it what is it? I don't even. It's basically it's all of the issues thus far in one issue, and that's gonna be like $20, and I think
Hmm.
that comes out mid-December. So anyone that was, because a lot of people haven't been able to get their hands on Death Dealer issue 1 because it's been, it's
Yeah.
4 printings and it's completely sold out. We don't have.
Mm.
I was looking for my stack of 1 through 50. I'm like, where are they? I can't find them. I have,
Yeah.
you start panicking when you lose things. Terrible.
Yeah. When I went to my comic shop, they had the first issue, one of them, but I was like, oh, I already have these because I got them from you. And then I made sure I was on a pull list first time I ever got on a pull list for something like that. And they had number 2. And then all of a sudden they tried to jit me out of 3. They were like, oh, we don't have it. And now whenever I go in there, it's never available. Never available. So I'm really glad that I got on there because I wouldn't want to miss it. But it's a great run. It's a good read. It's a nice adult book. I know we've talked about it before, but
Yeah.
oh gosh, I'm really enjoying it. I know you talked about Dawn Attacks a little bit, but can you go into maybe a little bit, like if somebody didn't read the first run or if they're interested in this one, like what this new run is going to be about?
So Dawn is a princess, and she is living in another world in space.
Hmm.
And it's the first issue's kind of it's building the foundation of where they are. The dynamic between the relationships. So there's not like a huge arc. There's not a huge like plot in the first issue, at least, that I can really talk about. But there is a lot of there's a couple battle scenes, and in true Frazetta fashion, here we go, a couple battle scenes. This is exactly the one I'm talking about. So that cave demon just stole her lizard that she was hunting for a lizard to feed her village, and this cave troll demon just came in, took the lizard from her, and now she's getting revenge and cutting off his head, severing the head.
Yeah.
So she's a beautiful princess, but she's also very fierce and badass, and leading this whole world, this whole village in another world. They're stranded there. But I'm going to give away too much, Paige, because I'm just going to keep talking, and I'll be like, and here's the whole issue.
I tried to make sure. I was like, when I was looking for this stuff, I was like, don't show like too much, but this is stuff that's on
the previews,
like you talked about. Yep, it's on the website and stuff. That's what I love. Like I know that you cover a lot of stuff with your grandfather, but like these like little tidbits that you give people too, it's really great. Like I know we talked about this before, but this is the kind of stuff I was talking about. This is like, you're not going to find this kind of stuff, unless you're in the art group that I'm in with you too. That stuff gets shared there too. I love that one too, but it's just stuff like this. It's really great stuff.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable that was in a sketchbook, like
I scared us. I was like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh. No, it's just it's so amazing. I mean, you can. I love that in his characters, like in what he draws, there's like weight and everything. It really, I don't know how he does that either. It's
beautiful.
A gift. Yeah, that was he used a lot of ink brush, so ink brush is really difficult. I don't know if you know how hard it is to use ink brush, but it's like it's like the top level. You have to be like the top level, and he just made it look like it was like nothing, which blows my mind.
And these weren't the ones where he was painting with his left, correct? This was before the stroke, correct?
Yeah. No, his left. I mean, what he created with his left hand is better than what I'll ever create with my right hand. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't the same level at all. I mean, he struggled to do anything with his left hand. So when you can spot the left-handed ones, but that's my point.
Oh wow.
There he is. That'd be great.
Yeah, there he is, the man. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that.
Someone's asking about an omnibus type version. What does that mean?
I'm not too sure who asked that. I've been neglecting the comments a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry, I saw them coming up. I still have them up. My ADD. I'm like, squirrel.
Well, it's great for a chat break. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be awesome. Death Dealer and Conan.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, maybe Titan's doing Titan books. They're doing all of the Conan. Conan recently left Marvel. So I'm excited to see what they do, and maybe we'll have that happen.
Oh, so the run that they have right now, that's no longer going to be theirs.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I love seeing other artists, and there it is.
See, there's the
Sarah, will be the opus average of an omnibus of Death Dealer. I guess like the collection of.
Is that what that means? I don't know what that word means.
Well, somebody else.
A volume containing several novels or other. Thank you for educating me. I appreciate it.
And me.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't. Like I don't. Ugh. It's the trade. Hold on. Let me get the details real quick, so I can properly announce that. Okay, so yes, it's a trade paperback, and it will have issues 1 through 7 in it. And then we will continue to do them, so they'll have all the whole compilation of everything. And then you brought it up earlier, and I didn't talk about it, but we are participating in Free Comic Book Day, so that's exciting. Mm-hmm. As a silver title, which means that they will not be in every comic shop participating, but they will be in some of the participating comic shops. And when that day comes, we will be telling everyone where to find that. And if you hear a dog barking, I apologize, because I just heard a little grumble from one of my little monsters out there.
I heard nothing.
little howls from my wolves.
I heard nothing. I had a question for you too, while we're on comics. So obviously, huge Fire and Ice fan that you are. Uh,
Hmm.
it, I've heard rumblings that that's going to be coming. Correct? Is that correct? To Dynamite?
Yeah. Yes. So we
Okay.
announced it once. We need to announce it again. We need to remind
Oh, I'm
everyone
sorry.
it's coming.
My bad. My bad. Sorry.
What?
Yeah, I didn't mess up anything, did I?
You're good. I think you're good. No.
Okay, good. All right, good. All
No, no,
right.
no, no, Michael, no. So Fire and Ice, big plans. It's the 40th anniversary next year, 2023. We will be making a comic series. It's going to be a prequel to the movie because
Hmm.
Fire and Ice. It was one of the best movies, but I'm very biased. It's my grandpa's one and only movie, and it's
Yeah.
just very special in my heart. But even with that point made, there were a lot of looming questions to like, what are these characters doing? Why do we care about them? What's the why is Necron so evil and crazy in this ice peak? And then it's just a lot of almost every scene left me at why. So with that problem, I was like, we have to come up with a solution, and we decided as a team, we're doing a prequel. Now, I
Hmm.
can't say too many details about the creative process yet, but
Yeah.
it won't be Tigra and Lauren as children. Like it's not going to be that kind of maybe a few years. Just setting the premise to what is going how all of these events occurred in Fire and Ice, and then we're going to have a sequel as a role playing game. So
Hmm.
so we wanted to create. We didn't want to just go in and take what was already there and make something from that. We wanted to create new off just off of it because there's just Fire and Ice. It's endless. Like the possibilities of what you can do creatively with that movie,
Right.
and of course we want to keep the things that really worked continuing to work, like the atmosphere, like James Gurney and Thomas Kincaid. They made the most beautiful backgrounds. I just was actually talking to Stephen Gordon, who is the director of animation on the film,
Hmm.
and he said that my grandfather actually worked the closest with the background artists. So I was like, okay, that makes sense of not discrediting any of the other artists or animators. It's
Yeah.
all fantastic. It's just that those backgrounds are what captivated me into loving that movie and wanting to go further into that world. So to
Yeah.
know that, because I think I briefly told you this page, but like by the time I was able to sit and talk to my grandpa about his career, he had late stage like dementia.
Yeah.
He had his strokes. He had Graves' disease, so he wasn't really able to reflect or go back and pull. He was very confused about his career and mainly was just
Oh man.
regurgitating things that like he had been told that he was or things that he had done, and that was a lot of like the confusion even with like the reference, the statement when he said, "Oh, I never used references," and when he said these things, he
Hmm.
was at a stage of his life when he wasn't all there mentally. And as much as yes, he was an enigma, he was contradicting at times, but when he would make like a statement such as that, and he was very confident, I don't swipe from anyone, I don't use photos, like he was going through a stage in his life where he just wasn't able to recall at all. So to have context, then it's like, okay, this man wasn't just like trying to build himself up into this like legend. He was sincerely confused. So when I get insight like that from someone like Stephen Gordon, because my grandpa wasn't able to tell me, it's just like such a, like I said earlier, like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful I get to learn about my own family. I mean, we all love to learn about our family members, and then to be able to have like this much information and access to different people that came across him and stories, and and it's because like the art he created and how many people it impacted, and these stories stay with them. So I'm very blessed, and yeah, that's the Fire and Ice news, and going into a little backstory.
No, that's good. I like the fact that you said that because you know how we have all this technology and we can dig into people's past and stuff like that. And I talk about this a lot too, but there's a lot of misinformation. And
Hmm.
so there's always nice to be able to have like that insight to kind of clear up some of that stuff because
Exactly.
you see one little piece and some people they just kind of run with that and then it just spreads over the internet. And so to have an equalizer just that balance of information is priceless, because you might have somebody that might hold some kind of grudge or some kind of misconception about him because of something that they read, like a blurb.
Right, right.
And that's why I say for you, I admire you, because you're taking on this huge, daunting task. It's a legacy, and you've embraced it, and you've done so much to like push it forward and expand it. It's just
Thank you.
amazing what you're doing, and I, I guess we can talk about that, the Frazetta-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Frazetta-Verse is with Incendium, and we are, obviously starting it off with the comic series.
Hmm.
We are hoping to expand it. We're going to go into the action figures, which you've gotten one, and see like more. Sea Witch is coming. The Sorcerer is coming. So all of the primary characters from the comic series will be made into action figures. That's the plan.
Hmm.
So heavy merchandising, but we also want to, of course, go into animations, film.
Yes.
That's the goal of all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we love comics as a means of entertainment, but you can't get better than having it made into an animated series, and seeing the comic come to life. Like, that would be truly a dream. So we're working towards those goals. We do have the Frazetta-Verse, which is on Discord now, and that's an online community. I really like Discord because it's kind of like, when you and I, Paige, when we started the internet, it was more community oriented. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
showing off. It was more conversation.
Hmm.
And I like that about Discord. I mean, I've been on, like, it's similar in a way to like Reddit, like having topics and, subgroups, and so you kind of curate your experience rather than having the algorithm curate the experience for you. So I
Hmm.
really like that aspect of Discord. There's a lot of really just devoted Frazetta fans on there. We're holding art contests, but what we are doing on the Frazetta-Verse is we are getting into more into Web3. We will have digital collectibles, although that is a dying dying thing at the
Yeah.
moment. But it's like what I've said from the very beginning is it's kind of like the internet in '95. Like, when the internet came out in the '80s, I mean, my mom told me that everyone made fun of the guy that worked on the computer. They're like, you're not
Yeah.
going anywhere with this computer. This is a scam. Like, be in
Hmm.
the real world. So any new technology, it's always hit like that. And
Hmm.
I see it as being, it's never going to be like a cash grab like it was the last couple of years, because that was, in my opinion, it was a gold rush. No one knew
Yeah.
it was happening. It was just people, a lot of scams. But that's, again, with anything new technology. I think that in the long term, it's not going to be about like getting like a huge amount of money. It's just going to be about having, like, holding together more of like a digital community, ways to purchase things, making it easier on the blockchain.
Right.
So I think it's going to be something that we inevitably grow into, and this project is definitely long term thinking. It's not trying to come in on the back end of the hype, and like, we're aware of what's happening. So it's a little bit about that, but like I said, mostly if Frazetta-Verse is not just for that. That's only one aspect. The Frazetta-Verse is, there's one of so that's a digital collectible. So with the digital collectibles, these Frazetta-Verse warriors, you have a digital collectible, and this is what I always thought that these digital collectibles, this community, should be. It's like, you have, why did the Bored Apes stay successful even though it's underwater completely right now? It's because it's community driven. So when
Hmm.
people they go to events, they'll have meetups, like they have exclusive products. So it's basically just like signing on a website and saying, I'm a member now, and you get perks. It's the same thing. So I feel like we overthink like what it is, but it's like people have been buying in video games, and adding skins, and if they play World of Warcraft, like this has been happening now for over a decade, so maybe longer.
Yeah.
My point is, Frazetta-Verse, it's really cool. We have a lot of other things besides the furthering into Web3. The art contests are awesome. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do like really like one of one unique merchandise, like giveaways, and just it's just a way. And I go on there, like I'll go on there. It's just like a general chat, and we just talk like a. I wish more people would engage, because it's like four of us that are in the general chat talking about like the weather and how our day is going, but I love that. Like I can just go on and it's like a text message like, hey, Andy, hey, Brent, like what are you guys doing today? And they're sharing what they're doing in other parts of the world, and just different, it's again, different perspectives. I'm not like a big gamer or anything, so I don't really have access to communities like that. So it's, to me, like if you're, if you're on Facebook and it's not enough community, I say head over to Discord. It's a community. It's a community. It's fun.
I'll make sure I put that in there too. I know I popped it up on the screen. One of the questions that had, and this was asked a couple of times, so if I don't flash up your question, it's not because, but this was one. So there was a post, and I wanted to ask you about this because obviously I'm going to be pretty excited about it. But so we've been waiting for, as Mezco collectors, been waiting a little while for this Conan the Conqueror. And I know that you had a post, and of course, it sends the internet into a frenzy
Like,
because,
is it shipping? No.
yeah. Did you get a bunch of messages like that? Like, hey, what do you know?
We
Is it
we
shipping?
had a few, and then we were like, what do we know? Do we know anything? Are we just blindly posting? We don't have a date yet. It's
Okay.
still up in the air.
Okay.
I'm hoping like the first quarter of 2023. When you would know better, Paige, when did you pre-order that?
Oh gosh. So you know what? Give me just a second. I have all of that stuff written down on my phone
I mean, I know
because I'm gonna.
COVID delayed everything like a year, like with all the factories. It delayed like a year and a half. With, I know, action figures,
Yeah.
they were delayed the longest because of, I guess, the parts of China that were closed the longest. Those were where the factories were for action figures,
Mm.
unfortunately.
It's well, I'm glad that somebody else said that. I say that a couple times. Nobody ever really believes me, and then there's other information that's
Oh
put
yeah,
out. So to actually hear from the source and hear
yeah, it's
somebody say,
true.
"Yeah,
It's
that's the reason." Yeah.
Now,
So
a lot of people, like in the people that don't believe in its defense, I understand that most
it,
companies were blaming everything on COVID. They're like,
yeah,
oh, my book's not here yet. It's COVID, and it's like,
yeah,
okay, all right,
yeah.
sure.
So that went up for pre-order in January 26th at 2:20 p.m. Nerd stats. You know you don't want to, but hey,
2022, 2022.
yes, that went up
Okay,
this
so
year. So
it's probably going to be a little longer then. It's probably going to be
oh
summer.
yeah. Oh, for like, oh yeah. I always wonder because I saw that it said that it was they didn't change the date. They changed it once, but then I haven't seen it change since then. It says like for now it's projected for November to January, I think. I think I updated it. So it's still within the window. But of course, when everybody saw that, they were like, "Oh, is it coming? Is it coming?" And so I even jumped
Yeah,
on it and was like, "Oh yeah, look, hey." I think I reposted it like when you had it because it's news and when you hear it from
yeah.
the source, it's really cool. So, but okay,
You're like,
got it.
why isn't the source giving a date? Damn it!
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
Paige.
no, no,
I
no,
need to be
no, not
called
at
out.
all.
No.
No, no, not at all. Like it's always like I said, it's always good because like sometimes it's not really they give estimated date range. And when those get
Right.
moved for whatever reason, a lot of people are like, hey, I don't understand what's going on. Where's it at? So it's good to hear from a source that, hey, so,
Yeah, they were
but
hit hard. They were hit hard. So the delays are. It's just gonna. It's a trickling effect.
oh,
We're
yeah.
all trying. We're all trying to recover.
Oh
So it
yeah, I
is.
know. Yeah, believe me, I know. I'm good with it because to be honest with you, I just got these. The Death Dealer and Christmas is coming, so you got to
Yeah.
kind of pace yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I have a question. And I've been thinking about this one. I heard it in a chat, and then I kind of wondered myself. So was she the inspiration or the model or both for your grandfather's work?
Yes and no. She was definitely his, like, one of his muses early on when he first met her, like madly in love. Couldn't get enough of her, had to have her. but my grandfather did not settle down till he was, I believe he was 32 years old when he finally married my grandma. They have been dating for like 5 years, which was unheard of in the 50s. Like you don't,
Hmm.
it's not like now. You don't date a girl for like 10 years and then finally like, put a ring on
Yeah.
it. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. The parents would have just been like, no,
Mm-mm.
like
Nah.
get rid of him.
Yeah.
So he was a playboy and had many
Oh.
girlfriends before, and that was like in his 50s, the Al Cap era. There were
Oh
plenty of
wow. Wow.
girls. But even throughout, like I mentioned earlier with the reference, like Jane Burke, what's her name? Burke. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. Can't remember anything today. Hold on. Thank God for the phone. My second brain. Let me get her name. So, I mean, even like Marilyn Monroe, Joan Brinkman. I was close. Joan Brinkman.
Okay.
So like, a lot of '60s pinup women. Like they were. He was into the dirty magazines. So he had a lot to pull from there. But
Right.
I mean, he would mostly. I think. I don't know. It was like a little bit of like a power struggle with my grandparents too. My grandma being the businesswoman. This is like when
Hmm.
their relationship dynamic changed. Like she went from the sweet, little blonde girl, much younger than him, that became his
Yeah.
wife, and then she had to raise 4 kids and run a business. So she got a little mean, like that, and that's subjective. But
Uh-oh.
in his opinion, she got a little mean. But I think it was just stress, and he didn't quite understand why she wasn't running around in lingerie the way he wanted her to when she was 20 years old.
Yeah.
So different dynamic changes, and she became the businesswoman. And I think when she would model or do any of the poses, he would think like, oh, it's going to go to her head, which I mean, so there was like
Um.
there was a lot of friction there. There was a lot of love. Like you could see like family portraits, like even portraits of Ellie, but
Hmm.
he was not. He would use it seldom, like with like I said, the lighting. There was like some parts of her that I saw like a repeat, her like a little bit of like her stomach, her lower stomach area, and then you can see a little bit in like the eyes and the tiny little nose. But that was just more his preferred aesthetic of a woman. He really liked that, like the wide eyes, almond shaped eyes, very petite nose, like a nice like proportion of lips, like a little
Hmm.
heart shaped face. Like he had definitely his preferred female aesthetic. So yeah, my grandma was a little bit of an inspiration, but he'd find any women that kind of looked like that, and those were his muses as well. Yeah, so yeah, you can see it right there, like the little pixie face. Like there's not even a nose. You can't really even like say,
Yeah.
like, see what I love that he did that. It's very unique.
Hmm.
It's an interesting take on a nose.
Yeah. I enjoy art. I enjoy going back and seeing different time periods because you get to see how there's an adjustment with certain things. Like I said,
Yeah,
you
see
saw
the
earlier.
giantess right there, Paige. See the girl with the little man between her breasts laying in the field. See that's definitely not my grandma. See if you go
Right.
through, and you know what I mean, you can, and now that the internet's finding the models that they resemble or maybe were swiped from or inspired by, like that's not definitely not my grandma. That's
Hmm.
they're different, but they have similarities. He had a, like I said, a taste, a style.
Yeah. These are the things that I was talking about that I love. Like there's uh, these little quirks that you can read about and just get a better insight. I mean, I like when people post pictures, but it's cool to actually have context to it. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
And you and the company do a very great job. There was a read up I did. I'm trying to find it. I should have had it peeled. I think it was probably this one, but it just gives you a lot of insight into the history of the photo. And I love, there was one that I read that it went over like his, I guess his technique on how like certain brush strokes went. And it was just really good. So like with all of that, if you look at this stuff, you're extremely busy. A lot. I keep saying it, but You're very active and you're always keeping us up to date on everything that's going on with that. And one of the things I really like that you do now is not now, but you've been doing consistently is like Frazetta Fridays. I love that interaction. I do wish that when it comes up, like there was more questions, like you said, like with more interaction.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out. I don't know. Maybe more like specific. I feel like if I do the show and it's about his like I want to do the Frazetta Fridays show in chronological order of his life, like when I do solo episodes
Hmm.
and dig in and bring up pictures and but it would also be cool to have that aspect like on a live too, so people can interact. Because that's when I think the bulk of curiosities would come in when it's about a specific. I mean, I love the questions about the merch and the comics and all of that.
Right.
But I also I think my favorite questions to answer are obviously going to be about who my grandpa was in his life and clearly like that's of course why wouldn't I like that the most. I love
Right.
that picture and that's such a good insight of like his personality right there in that picture.
Hmm.
He was wild.
I can't even imagine. Like, I've seen and I've read certain things, but to be in there firsthand, oh, yeah.
That's my mom. Here he
Mm.
is
But
smoking. He didn't start smoking until he moved out to Pennsylvania, so I think he was in his 40s. And then he picked up cigarettes and cigar. I mean, he smoked a cigar once in a while, but he just got a bad habit going once he got out to that property. I don't know why. There he is. That was in Brooklyn.
mm.
Sorry, Long Island. No, he painted that in Long Island.
So going back and then pushing forward to where you're at now, um, what would you say that with what you've been going through and putting all of this together and running it, what would you say that your most favorite accomplishment is with the company, with everything that you've done so far?
I think I think what I reflect on the most is the fact that I didn't give up on it on my vision and still won't give up on it even when the times get really rough or it seems like I mean even with this business like I'll admit like there's sometimes little devils in my head about like either like imposter syndrome or doing or what people think if I'm doing it for like the wrong reasons and then I have to remind myself but you know your intention it doesn't you're none of and anyone else's opinion isn't really my business and
Right.
that's also it's unfair to say because it's like projecting my own insecurities onto what others may think. So there's definitely there's been like inner battles and then there's been outer battles of with unfortunately like even the dynamic of the family.
Hmm.
And that goes back to even before I stepped in to help my mom build this and then she gave this business to me because it was the only thing to do. It wasn't like I've said this before. We didn't even become profitable until like 2019, where we could live off of the business, and
Hmm.
because before that it was just a passion, something a passion to go to comic cons and meet fans, and because we were at a consistent loss. So yeah, I think being consistent and seeing where consistency has gotten us, and seeing how if you really do have a vision, you need to believe in yourself and follow it through, and every single day needs to be you have to be pushing for that vision to happen, and just seeing like a one goal, like one milestone. I think was, I mean there's been so many milestones, but as you're like going through the feed, our merchandising and how we've been able to go from a t-shirt that was being made out of someone's garage and screen printing it to
Yeah.
having factories producing these that a factory that does Disney merchandising, like something like that, and then we do it ourselves, and having those connections, and then having something like we had to fight for a long time to be able to get into comics and create this world building, and to create a Frazetta-Verse. That was a lot of that was a lot of fight to get to where we are. So I think when I like would see things happen like that are big, or collaborations, I'm like, this is the reason to keep going. It's everything. You have your good days and bad days, and you just have to keep going.
Yeah, that's why I love talking to you. And I remember, personally, we had that like conversation offline, and I was like, when I asked you a question and how you handle certain things and the advice you gave me, I was like, oh wow, I was like, yeah, I love talking to you because of this, because you're going through all of this, and like I said, you are taking on this, this just immense weight, and you're just handling it, and then it's a legacy, and you just keep it going, and it's very inspiring, very inspiring to me.
Thank you,
I
Paige. It means a
um
lot. Thank you.
yeah, I wish there was another way to tell you. It's just amazing to me. What do you think that your grandfather would be most proud of you right now about?
Uh, starting to grow in confidence in things that I do, not and what we make, just not having. I think just growing away from the self doubt. I think he would be proud of that with me, and that's who he would want to be representing him with, is someone that would be confident and strong and going, like, just having those aspects of him. So I mean, my grandpa was always very honest with merchandising endeavors that my grandma did. He would just he would like it. He liked it all. He was happy that fans were happy, but overall he was like, I just want someone to do a good job and make things that are really cool for the fans. I don't really care, don't really want to oversee anything or deal with it, because he wasn't the business person. So that was more my grandma. I think my grandma would be angry. Not. I mean, right now in this time and space, I don't think she would be. I think she would be really happy that I took this on. But
Hmm.
I did hear her voice a lot in the beginning when I got into this, and I could hear her going, "No, why are you doing this?" Because she it was such a burden to her, like running the business alone for so many years. She dealt with all of the licensing, the merchandising, and because of like the time, because she didn't have lawyers, because she didn't really like know how to run a business, and it's really hard, especially being alone running a business. And I think just because of all of her trials and all of the people that ripped her off, and she had a chip on her shoulder about going into the art business at all. Like, she just was like, I don't want that for my family, I don't want anyone doing it, really. So and my grandma was always like the delusional grandma that was like, my Sarah can do anything, she should be a doctor. And I'm like, I can't do math. And okay, a scientist, okay, I don't know, okay, I can't do science, grandma,
Yeah,
learning disability. So she just always wanted something like really big for me, but
yeah,
like didn't but and I think that's kind of why. And that might be, we're talking this out right now, that could be the little voice in my head that's saying like, this, your imposter syndrome, because grandma would always say, don't do that, don't do this, like, don't
yeah,
take my life, you don't want that. But I just think grandma was I mean, thank God for her. She started the whole merchandising endeavor. Without her, my grandpa probably never would have even had posters made. He would have just
yeah,
been, so my grandma, I think, like I said, I think now, like, seeing where I'm at mentally and that I can handle stress, I think she'd be happy. I think they'd both be happy.
yeah. She probably probably just looking out for you. She just didn't think,
Yeah.
not to say that she didn't think you could do it, just that she just, it's like the protective
Yeah.
thing. You don't
Yeah.
want any harm to come to your children
Well,
and
I hear
and your
I hear
family.
lawyers. Yeah, I hear lawyers all the time. I mean, they'll talk. They'll say, my nephew, niece, they want to get into law, and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it. So it's just, I think people
Yeah,
that, if you have a lot of stress, that you're going to project that onto the other person inevitably. You
yeah,
shouldn't, but it happens. We're only human.
yeah. It's, man, I could scroll through this all the time. I'm listening to you, but I'm like,
No,
I'm
no.
just, I do this all the time. I'm
You're like,
like,
she's
man.
still talking. A good thing I'm scrolling.
No, I like it because
I'm
it
kidding.
allows me to like, yeah, there's like showcase and stuff because it's
No, I
great.
know.
It's
No,
great
it's great.
stuff.
I like that. That's smart, Paige. Another good thing. I like that you're doing this. This is good. I'm taking
Uh,
notes
uh,
for my next live.
I'm taking energy from you. I love talking to you because, man, like I said before, it's hard to find like positive people and who are passionate about what they do, and so that's why I really enjoy talking to you. I really do. I missed it, but it makes me value like talking to you. Like, right, oh, look at that Superman. Look at this
Feeling
guy.
is mutual.
Look at this
Yeah,
girlfriend.
there's
Look at this
this.
cool ass dude. Look at that.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's so
I
Italian.
Yeah. I know I asked this before, or we've kind of like touched on it a little bit, but some time has passed. But do you have like a dream project or partnership that you want to work on, or you have in the works right now?
I have one in the works, and I can't announce it yet. It's so
But
big,
that's
and it's coming
okay.
before the end of the year, and you'll know.
Oh,
I'll be
yes.
I'll be on the camera going ee and like making all this running.
Nice.
I just I it's there's a lot like I mean there's definitely some though that like other I'd say more collaborations with like streetwear brands like that I've been like loving for a long time. I mean, I like even like Supreme, like they did or Noah's a good. I think Noah did a collaboration with Ralph Bakshi, and it was really cool.
Hmm.
So just other brands that I really like and like that I wear. I'd like to see more fashion houses like do
Yeah.
things like fantasy art. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
Even like things like this is there's one thing I'd love to do, and we're working on it, but like more high end lines, like high end like drops, like of merchandise capsules, where it's like very very limited, but it's like something that you'd find in like Saks Fifth Avenue, like that kind of quality,
Oh
like
wow.
leather
Yeah.
bound, like
Yeah.
just really beautiful maybe even one of one items.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
know. But well, I've been like, okay, so like for instance, like there's like this like the bomber jackets, you know what I'm talking about, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
yeah
Hmm.
yeah like the varsity style.
Yeah.
So what I want to make like some like almost like satin and have it the Golden Girl like featured in like embroidered patches
Hmm.
and just like elements from his paintings and but like make it into high fashion, make it into but again one of one. It could be a denim jacket with like very specific patches on it, and it's
Right.
it's a one of one. So that's something like I want to get into eventually. It's just that we're moving. We slow and steady wins the race, so that's what we have to
Hmm.
do. We can't get in over our heads. But yeah, and that's all inspired by wanting to collaborate with different fashion houses and seeing that all come to. I love fashion. I think it's great. It's a great form of art.
Yeah, and it's good because it just builds a better portfolio. I've seen a lot of people. Oh, wait, let me screen share. Okay, good. There it is. I've seen a lot of people. I saw a guy. He was in the chat, and he was talking about, man. He goes, I have all the decks, all the decks that they put out, and then
Yeah,
and it's
that's
cool to
so
see like it.
cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
resonates with people, and I know I was trying to get a shirt, and I excuse me, I was trying to get a shirt for the show, but I had so much crap happen in the last couple of days, and so, but I remember I reached out and I was like, hey, I was like, it wasn't you, I know it wasn't you, but I was like, hey, I'm trying to get a shirt. I was like, if I order now, from the site, how long do you think it would take? And this person was so cool. They were like, just say that you're getting the shirt and you need it done fast, and we'll get it to you in 2 days. And I'm like, holy crap.
I, I'm gonna go give him a hug for that. That's
Yes.
Joe, who you'll meet at some point.
Yeah.
He's the partner in Frazetta Girls, and I've told this story before, but I don't bring up Joe enough. He doesn't get enough credit. He's like this
Yeah.
like mysterious man. He doesn't have a social media, but he spent the most. I mean, my grandpa was super picky, okay, about
Hmm.
everything, about
Yeah.
women, friends, just everything. Besides clothes, he didn't care what he wore. He usually looked at, and even in his early years. He'd like have like the, you know, the white tank top and didn't really think of it. He just wanted to be comfortable. So clothes didn't count. But he was very picky with people that he would sit and talk to for hours. Like it was, so when he met Joe, I was his favorite person up until that point. Well, so I thought. And I'd walk into the room and he'd go, "Where's your friend?" I'm like, "Really?" Like he wouldn't even say hi to me. He would just go, "Where's your friend?" And I'm like, this is shit, Grandpa. Like I'm so upset. But he had a love with my grandpa that was like, it was crazy. Like they had this like passion over cameras, and he's like he listens, and my grandpa was just like, this guy, like he said a couple of times, he's like, why doesn't this guy run the business? Why doesn't he do? And so that didn't happen right away. When my grandpa passed away, they went into like, you know, legal battles. The kids did. I had no part in any of it, no, with the original art, with the business, with anything. But then, of course, like in 2014, we started Frazetta Girls. I was helping my mom. And then, you know, 2017, I think it was 2017, that's when Joe stepped in. And it was like, that's when everything aligned. And I was like, that's so weird, because Grandpa like knew that. He knew it was supposed to be Joe that was going to change for like Frazetta in terms of merchandising and expansion with online and things that no one in the family at the time was capable of. It was, you know, it was my uncle Frank Jr. and my grandma running the business. So it was really, really cool to see their interaction, and then now to, you know, have Joe answering you in emails about getting you a shirt quickly. Grandpa knew. He was a good headhunter.
Yeah. I was very surprised. It's like I don't try to like you. I know I could talk to you about it, but I try to like, you know, to kind of have that experience too. And when I messaged, I was like, "Holy crap!" I'm like, and I didn't get a chance, like I said, because certain stuff happened. But like, just
Well, you let me know what shirt, Paige. You go to me,
no, no,
and
no, no,
you
no,
should
not
know the
again, not
drill.
again.
You were
Yeah,
trying to go
I
around
know.
the path.
Yes, I was. Well, I wanted to kind of get an idea too, but I was like, wow, like that's a lost art. Like now, like customer service, and so to have somebody human talk you back to you and then try to tend to your needs too, I was like, oh crap. So I still need to get the shirt. I'm actually gonna get on today and get it. So I was like, I wanted to get the Death Dealer one, the one. So I'm gonna make sure I do that. But I wanted to tell you that I was like, oh man.
Okay, well, at least if you're not going to accept the gift, at least wait until Black Friday, because we
Oh, is
have,
that a okay?
I don't even care if I'm cutting off sales. It's good. Everyone watching this deserves to wait. We do an annual Black Friday sale every year, and we do like,
Okay.
I think we're doing 30% off everything. So
Nice. Oh, so like Prince, you
in,
know, everything, kind of like all the
yeah,
stuff.
everything.
Okay.
And then on top of, so I mean, there's a lot of markdown items already. So there's going to be like 30% off already marked down items. So
Yeah,
it's
I
worth
saw
waiting.
I saw the sale tab on it too. I was like, oh, I think it
Yeah.
was yeah. Oh, okay, good. Well, hey,
So
good to
you
know.
just hold on to that money so you can get all the sales.
Man, they took a bunch from me today. I tell you that. But yeah,
Oh
but yeah,
no,
I'm
who
thinking.
took a bunch from you?
Oh man,
Is that part of
so
your bad day? Kind of
oh
crappy?
yeah, man,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you offline. Nobody cares about
Okay.
that stuff.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're very busy. I really appreciate your time. Oh gosh,
Thanks
man.
for having me, Paige. I love your shirt, the positive
Yeah.
energy. That's what you are. It's positive energy. Good vibes.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah. This was the closest I could get to the colors. I was like, this was kind of like the shirt design that you had.
Yeah.
I'll kind of get with this one. I don't know.
Oh, I love
But
it.
I wanted to tell you again. I wanted to tell you thank you because I don't think a lot of times we tell people that we share space and energy with that we tell them thank you and that they are appreciated. So I appreciate everything that you're doing. I appreciate you carrying your grandfather's legacy, but I also appreciate you as a friend. I really do. Yeah.
Feelings mutual, Paige. Thank you so much.
Everyone, real quick, if you have time, let's see if there's anybody that. Let me scroll down, make sure there aren't any lingering questions. Such a great chat. Please doesn't take you. Yeah,
Happy
Boba.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Boba he tried to send me something the other day. I was like, no, it doesn't work like that, man. And then he's like, oh yeah.
Because I like that you're like that though, Paige. Because like I mean, I'm like that too. But it's like I always feel like it's like I hesitate because I want it to be an equal energy exchange. It has to be in my mind, but that could be I don't know what that means. That's just my perception of what the energy exchange is. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't send me a gift. Don't do it. No, I'm weird.
No. Well, I think like you said, it also depends. I had a friend. He's in Tampa, and we met
Mhm.
up. He got me something that he knew that I wanted, and he held it for like a year or so, and then we met up, and I said, "Hey, I got something for you too." We exchanged it, but then there was this value and equal thing, but he didn't even care about it because you know how everything is so conditioned now like that. It's like I give you this, you give me this. He was
I
just like,
know.
don't even work them out. So MC, I appreciate you, man, but he did that, and it's nice that there are people that still do that. You don't try to take
It
advantage of it,
is.
but you appreciate it more. So
Yeah, no, that's how it should be. You should only give if you really want to give something, not to expecting anything back. Then it's not really giving, you know.
exactly. So keep an eye out for your bloody death dealer. It's coming.
Well, you're gonna get something as a reciprocation. So
No, no, no,
I
no,
have your
no.
address.
Yeah, you got me on that one. I was like, yeah.
I'll have to put a helmet on and bully you into it.
Dude, I love that helmet. Can we show it again? Can we show it
Well,
again for
we'll
the?
sign off like this. Here,
Yes.
this will be our sign off.
Yeah. Don't
But
do the
no,
Vader
don't look at
voice.
that. Oh,
No
there
Vader
goes
voice.
that one.
Oh
Boy
no.
from Death Dealer. That's like a burp. Death Dealer.
Oh,
I can go
oh
pretty deep.
no,
My decimal gets pretty low. So I don't know if it's something to be proud of though.
no, it is. Again, thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate you coming on. I'll make sure, like I said before, that everything's in there. I think I did it earlier today, but all the contact information for Sarah, Frazetta Girls on Instagram. Please make sure that you pick up Death Dealer. It's a great run. Dawn Attacks is coming out. Trying to
Yeah.
think of what else. Oh, keep an eye out for the Black Friday sale and follow Sarah. She's awesome.
Thank you, Paige. Thank you, Paige.
Mm,
So kind of you to talk like that about Sara Frazetta.
I
All
do. I love
right.
it. Good. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you guys. Everyone, thank you
Bye,
for joining.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye, guys. Death Dealer.